Then they announced like 5 Warhammer 40K games, and it was kind of
Um,
nuts.
so I want to. Who was it that I was watching? There's a video essayist that recently put out a video called "They're Jealous of Warhammer." Racevic. It's Racevic. So, where he is jealous of Warhammer fans. And the long and short of it is that his favorite thing in the world is Mass Effect. And if he wants to play something for Mass Effect, he has Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3, or a really bad tablet game, right? But if you're a Warhammer fan and you want to play something, there is something in every single genre
Mm, mm,
for Warhammer. If there is like literally 20 RTSs.
mm-hmm,
There's a
mm-hmm.
there's a couple shooters, there's tactical RPGs, there's fucking space games, there's ship management games, etc. There's only one problem. About 80% of them are fucking terrible. Like a good 4 out of 5 are awful. Now that still makes them there's actually a lot of really good ones, but a bunch of them are trash. That being said, the games that got announced today look really good.
Yeah. So, like, of all the Warhammer games, I'm just thinking of like the ones I actually hear people talk about, and you hear about Vermintide, you hear about Dawn of War, you hear about. I mean, for a minute there was a bit of Space Marine talk, but
Space Marine's a great game.
mhm. um,
It's just a really good action game.
but yeah, that trend of just continuing to release into every genre continues because straight up, like, a fuck ton of games. So first, Owlcat announced 40K Rogue Trader, which
I'm
is a CRPG.
so like 2 days ago, there's rumor going around going, Owlcat's next game might not be Pathfinder. It might be Starfinder. Rumors about them doing a sci-fi computer role-playing game are coming out. And they came out and they're like, no, man, it's not Starfinder. I promise. And now today it's like, it's 40K. It's the
Hmm.
first computer role-playing game in the 40K universe.
Have they done stuff like with those animated cutscenes in that style before?
No, that
Okay,
seems to be kind of new.
yeah. So the
The
cutscenes
usual
looking.
thing for 40K is just super high end CG cutscenes.
Hmm. But like that particular animated look, like, yeah, pretty interesting.
I I bet that's not gonna be in the game.
No
I
way.
bet
I mean,
that's gonna
it's
be
it's
trailer
just
only.
setup stuff, I'm sure, or
Yeah,
cutscenes, whatever. But yeah, there's a bit of gameplay, and it's you're looking at classic RPG view and stuff going down.
you're gonna be dealing with the Eldor and the fucking Necron and all those fucking weirdo aliens.
You doing Pathfinder stuff pretty much 1-to-1, I assume, right? So
It's gonna be very interesting because like humans in 40K are so unrepentantly awful and violent towards all non-humans that I'm gonna wonder how a dialogue tree with like the Eldar or the orcs is gonna work out.
I mean, I know that it's like I know that 40K is a giant, crazy, developed world with tons of millions and millions of different things stories and character types and genre and things that you can focus in on. But the shit that I always see and hear is just the biggest, most fart sniffing pontificating about the emperor. It seems to
Yeah,
be like this is the,
you're
the
right.
soil we
You're
plant everything on,
you're
you
totally
know
right. a hundred
and like,
percent.
yeah, and then that's the shit you gotta fucking put up with. So of course you're gonna be dealing with shitty humans constantly if that's what the backdrop of the vibe of the whole thing is.
Yeah, for me, it's always been like any excuse to see the cool factions, and it's why the trailer they put out makes like a note that it shows off like multiple alien factions and it's going to be about exploring uncharted space. So you're probably going to run into every notable 40K faction in some context whatsoever. You're going to meet a chaos guy, you're going to meet the Tau, you're going to meet the Necron, you're going to see some orcs, etc.
Um, so that's coming to consoles and PC. And right next to that was the reveal of 40K bolt gun, which
Dude,
I gotta say, like, I'm like,
dude.
where are you going with this trailer? And it's basically someone pulling out their little toys, the little miniatures, right? All these memories from the past, old things. There's a fucking element sticker from a skateboard, like at one point on a notebook, and then pulling out a floppy disk and having bolt gun sketched and doodled on it, popping it in, and then it loads up what is essentially 40K Doom, and it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, they're just making
like
their own
like
official 40K Doom.
like Quake maybe, but like the boomer shooter, 40K boomer shooters.
Yeah, like the logo for Bolt Gun looks like they're doing the Doom thing, you know?
Yeah,
But yeah, and it's just like, okay, that's it. They're just pretending that this was a game from back in the past that never
yeah,
came
and
out,
it
you know?
looks like it, and it looks cool. It's a
Well,
good setting for
it
that
looks
kind of
better
boomer
than
shooting.
it looks better than it should
Yeah,
be
it
for a
does.
boomer shooter. That's the thing. It's again, it's cheating a little bit, but it looks dope. Looks dope. Um and I
Oh, it's
want
by
to say
Focus Entertainment.
exactly, yeah. So um
Probably gonna cover that then. Cool. It's on Steam right now. Well, 2023 on both of them.
So, I don't know what they did besides A Plague's Tale, but that's a fun project. Then they announced 40K Shoota's Blood and Teeth, which is just orc boys running
I
and
did not
gunning.
see this one.
You didn't see?
No.
Yeah, here, Shoota's Blood and Teeth. Um,
And teeth with an F.
Teeth. It's just
Okay.
it's orc boys running around in a
Doing their
like
stupid orc shit in
Scribblenauts art
2D.
style. Yeah, it's like Scribblenauts art style, and just shoot Daka.
Like Metal Slug,
Warg.
but with
Exactly.
orcs.
Change your
That's so
guns up.
stupid.
Put your shit, but just run and shoot and dumb and
I love it.
scream and rawr.
I fucking love it. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. Um. So orcs get their rep.
Oh, there's a demo out for that right now. Good to know.
Cute 40K is kind of wild because like as you're watching the trailer you're like, okay, you can imagine, you can see the goofy orc like cartoonish art style, and it's, you know, cute and silly, but then they're going to start fighting against real like 40K stuff, which is like dead serious and not at all like, you know, made for this type of look. So that's going to get weird real quick. But in any case, that's another fun one. And then they announced Darktide Rejects Will Rise, which is yeah, going on the next in the Tide series.
Wait, what? Darktide Rejects Will Rise.
Yeah, here
Is
you
that
go.
is that Darktide? What is that?
Oh, that's just a text. Yeah, Warhammer 40K Dark Tide Rejects Will Rise, and then it was pretty much just a cinematic of it, but
Oh, Rejects Will Rise is the name of the trailer. Oh, that's weird.
um
It's just a Darktide trailer, but it is for September 13th.
yeah, there you go.
Hooray.
So yeah, just
And it's on Steam, thank goodness.
a big old Warhammer 40K fucking announcement drop bomb
I
today.
want to play Darktide so bad, dude. Like, Vermintide is, like, such a legitimately fantastic successor to the Left 4 Dead formula. But it doesn't really have guns.
So is it so it's Vermintide 2, and then this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's what they announced. I think Bolt Gun looks sick. I wanna fucking see if that has any of the like, is it going to play it completely faithful, or are they going to have fun with it like in a Duskish kind of way, you know?
The bolt gun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because like it's already pretty silly due to its fucking its tone and its look.
I respect the again the Shovel Knight style of keeping it, trying to keep the feel authentic. I don't mind if you do that. You know, you can go down that viable path as well. Um, yeah. So, but that's pretty much it for the Warhammer stuff. Um,
I bet at least one of those games will be good. Man, every time I talk about Warhammer games, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about like fucking Dawn of War 3 is just bad. And that's a bummer because Dawn of War was like the absolute gold standard for the Warhammer games.
so, can you just from what I remember last time you brought it up, you said like Back for Blood is just not at all what Left 4 Dead fans wanted. So, is this just the complete like this
You
is
know
where the
what?
entire fan base moves?
I don't quite know how to compare those two, which is weird because they're ostensibly in the same genre. Whereas Vermintide is kind of its own thing. Like it's obviously cribbing off Left 4 Dead, right? But it has its own dedicated setting, and it's very mission based. Like you'll pick a mission, go do it. It has a special thing, it has a special setting, and all that, and it's very well put together. And it's a really good execution of that formula. But you also have unique characters that all have different skills, like completely play differently. They have completely different moves and equipment. And so you're all mixing and matching that and that. And it works really well. Whereas it felt like Left 4 Dead combined smartly with Warhammer. Whereas Back for Blood feels like Left 4 Dead combined with a bunch of shooter concepts that I don't like over the past decade. Like we're gonna modernize Left 4 Dead with iron sights and perks and a card system, and none of that makes the game any better at all.
Mm.
And also, its issue is that its setting is just literally Left 4 Dead, but less charm.
So I was gonna say that like for whatever is not the same as Left 4 Dead, if you're going over to a Warhammer game, you still get the setting of Warhammer, which is way
Which
more
rules.
interesting than whatever you're gonna fucking.
Yeah, but also mechanically, like Vermintide's more fun. Another good example is Deep Rock Galactic, the dwarf game, where it's defending yourself against hordes of bugs, but also like literally like Minecraft or Red Faction digging into an environment to get ore for various contracts. Okay. And that game also has a really fantastic setting. It has the types of mechanics that you want, which is I want weird, interesting weapons. I don't want like Back 4 Blood has like 20 rifles. And it has the rifle that's single shot, it has the rifle that's single shot with a scope, it has the rifle that's you know, the single clip but it's semi-auto and so on, and they're all modern guns and they all function like a Call of Duty thing. It's like, yeah, I don't care about that. I want the guy that has a shotgun and a drill. I want the guy who has like a hook shot and like a de facto submachine gun, and maybe he can get a fancy pistol that shoots flares.
Yeah.
Like every game that does
rule.
the Left 4 Dead formula that followed after Left 4 Dead is better than the one that told you it was the successor to Left 4 Dead.
Including the one by the same team.
Yeah. Well, some of the same team, because there's no one at Valve working on Back 4 Blood.
So yeah, 40K fans are feasting.
As they always are.
Good for them. Good for them.
Because those people will spend $385 on a 6.5-inch piece of plastic and a single vial of paint. So for Warhammer has tons of cash to throw at any project they want.
Dude, like I shipped my friend my Kingdom Death miniatures and just said, "Here you go. I understand it might take literally years. Just like
Yeah.
here you go, and let me know how it's going every once in a while, you know." And I've been getting updates on those, and it's coming. It's coming. Looks cool,
It's
but
interesting because like I remember talking to I forget who it was. Talking to somebody who was big into 40K and Warhammer, and I'm like, the Warhammer game, the tabletop game, is actually really cool, and it's a really rad strategy game. It would be really great instead of like Total Warhammer, which is an RTS with Civ stuff in it, if they just adapted the tabletop to a video game. To which I was told that will never happen, and anyone who tries to make it happen will be disappeared because all the money
mm-hmm.
comes from those little tiny figures.
Mm-hmm.
That
If you
whole
take that
company
away, yep,
is built off of the crazy margins of paint and resin and fucking little plastic figurines or pewter figurines.
if you take that away, you're shooting the cash cow. Why would you do that? I mean, shit. Isn't there like a Yu-Gi-Oh game that's like recent that like is like the type of thing where now you can release it in a way that's not going to compete with Yu-Gi-Oh, since Yu-Gi-Oh cards are no longer a thing in real life, really? I don't know what I'm talking about, of course. This full disclaimer, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But
If
the
you
impression I
want
got
a
was that Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game, is something you remember from the past. It's not going to be stepping on any toes to put out a game that can, do the same shit now, and now you can go play it that way.
fucking, I'm just looking at like how expensive does it cost to start playing 40K? You want a
Okay.
2,000 point army? Start
Okay.
with a fucking $1,000.
Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh still going strong. Yu-Gi-Oh still very popular. Yu-Gi-Oh not as popular as it was back when we were in high school, so it's not being heard of as much then. Does that sound more
So
realistic?
I actually have
I don't
a
know.
piece of I have a piece of Yu-Gi-Oh information for you, Wooly.
Okay.
Do you remember 2-3 weeks ago we covered the smell policy for the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments?
Yes.
On the subreddit, somebody clarified why that rule was going into practice. It was going into practice because people were intentionally not showering and pissing all over themselves to
Gotcha.
cause their opponents to forfeit because they
Gotcha.
didn't want to
Okay.
be around or touch their opponent.
Tactical move. Got it. Cool.
It was tactical.
All right. Big wrong, more popular than ever. Okay. My bad.
Yeah, they just came out with the Yu-Gi-Oh, didn't they?
Uh the game or another
Yeah.
thing? I
Uh,
I, I don't. I remember when basically the height of the cartoon and then the show alongside the stuff that all the kids was buying, and maybe my life just separated from hearing about it that much, so I didn't know that it continued to be very popular.
my area never got into Yu-Gi-Oh. It was all Pokemon. It was all Pokemon cards.
I mean, I have friends that basically like would detour from Magic into Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, but they kind of held down the Magic thing. And I still know people that are into Magic, and they don't really talk about Yu-Gi-Oh. So I guess that's kind of, anyway, whatever. But yeah, I think I imagine that like if you just provide a tabletop simulator officially sanctioned, that is to say, of Warhammer, you might step
So
on some
you
toes.
can totally play Tabletop Simulator 40K.
Yeah,
or
you can just
Warhammer,
you can put it together
but
yourself, of course. Yeah.
but I don't think it's officially sanctioned.
Mm, mm, mm.